I mean, do any of the actors want to talk? How much work did you put into your characters? What sort of background did you do that we actually didn't see on the screen, or maybe wasn't actually on the page of the script? Whoever would like to jump in.
I was cast at the last minute, and we had one day rehearsal, and they were shooting, and I went off, and Darren asked me to write 2 letters to Nina as Erica when I was away, which I did, and it was just such a great suggestion because it just opened the door to the character, and these letters wrote themselves, and I suddenly felt comforted because I knew this woman, and we had a history, and we had this love established. And he never read the letters, and he gave them to Natalie at strategic moments during the movie. But that was, I mean, I did lots of different preparation, but that one was, worth talking about, I think.
I got involved like 3 or 4 months before we started to shoot, actually, kind of at the last minute. And I danced when I was younger. I grew up in a dancing family. So I just had to get back into that mood. And for that, I was in Paris still when we were preparing at first. And so I was hanging out at the opera in Paris with Benjamin Millepied, the choreographer of the movie. And I had a chance to see, people work there, and especially Mikhail Baryshnikov, who was helping a young dancer to dance. So that was a key moment for me. And then when I was in New York, I had the opportunity to hang out at the New York City Ballet and see Peter Martins rehearse. And all these things together, plus the documentaries and stuff, and classes a bit, to stretch and move like one. And I think that was about it, really. The rest is about the situation and the interaction in the present.
Let's see. Character-wise, Natalie and I never actually rehearsed prior to shooting. So it was always Darren and I going through line by line, scene by scene together. And then I think the biggest thing that I had to do was the physical transformation, as did Natalie. But it was, I signed on maybe 4 months prior to production, and the day after I signed on, I went into the ballet studio and started training 7 days a week, 5 hours a day. I did get a day off on my birthday, so that was a plus. And then 2 months during production, and in the process, I lost 20 pounds, and I think it was just more about the physical aspect of the character. That you could only fake so much, but you can't really fake an aesthetic look. And I think that the ballerina, you can spot a mile away. So I apologize. Aesthetically speaking, that was probably the biggest challenge. And as far as character research, Darren was great. He sent, I think, all of us, documentaries and books to read. And every time that I would get bruised or my toe would be, split in half, I'd send him a photo and be like, "Oh my God, look what happened!" And he'd be like, "Great." So, every time that he was like, that was a positive response. I was like, all right, maybe I'm doing something okay. And that's pretty much it, I guess.
Darren talked to me about the movie for the first time 9 years ago. There was no script, but he had really this sort of kernel of an idea in his head. So I think I had the luck of getting to sort of sit with the idea of the story, if not the specifics of it, for almost my whole 20s, which was lucky. And I started the physical training a year ahead of time, which was very intensive for a year. And then I read a lot of dancer autobiographies, which was really helpful in getting a lot of the details. And then spending the time also with my trainer, who, I was with 5 hours a day at least, probably, more than that at the end. For a year, I got to hear all of her stories of 10 years in New York City Ballet and other dancers too, so that I got to talk to. So that was really helpful as well.